Nisha from Virtu. Today I want to give you all a brief overview of our new Anka Image Scanner tool. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Anka, Anka software enables iOS DevOps and developers to virtualize Mac host and provision container-like on-demand macOS virtual machines for iOS CI build and test pipelines. Anka build software can be deployed on AWS EC2 Mac instances, on-premise Mac machines, and also on hosted Mac machines. As many of you know, security as a discipline has moved from just securing the perimeter to application development lifecycle and workflow. There is a new term for this called DevSecops. In particular, iOS application development teams use one of the many code repository scanning tools available to scan their code during the development stage for security vulnerabilities. However, when this code moves from development stage to the build step, there is no security scanning capability available to scan build and test environments. Unlike Linux application development, where there are many image scanning tools available which enable the DevOps and DevSecops to implement a process to scan container images in the registry before they are used to provision container environments for build and test, nothing like this exists for iOS development. With Anka Image Scanner, we are actually solving this problem. Anka Image Scanner works with Anka Build Registry. Anka Registry is a central place where development teams can store and manage their iOS build and test virtual machine images and multiple versions. Anka Image Scanner scans VM images from the Anka Registry for any security vulnerabilities against the NVD database. The Anka Scanner tool discovers all the packages and application inside VM images in the Anka Registry. It catalogs them and then scans them for security vulnerabilities. Today we are introducing the beta version of this Anka Image Scanner tool, and in a little bit I will show you a quick demo of on how you can get started with this tool. But before we jump into the demo, I wanted to share with you what we have planned next. With regards to the image scanner tool. We plan on taking user feedback during the beta stage and release a GA version of the Anka Image Scanner tool within the next 2 or 3 months. We also understand that not all iOS development teams use Anka solution to virtualize and run their build and test inside Anka macOS virtual machines. A lot of these iOS development teams are either already using the AWS EC2 Mac instances or are thinking about migrating their build and test workloads to AWS EC2 Mac instances. So for those teams who don't run their iOS build and test inside Anka virtual machines, but are going to run these workloads directly on AWS EC2 Mac instances, we will be releasing a scanner which will also scan for security vulnerabilities in EC2 Mac AMIs. So as these teams build a repository of EC2 Mac AMIs for their build and test, using the Virtu EC2 Mac AMI scanner, they will be able to scan these AMIs for any security vulnerabilities. So stay tuned and we will share more details within the next couple of weeks on availability of this solution for AWS EC2 Mac instances as well. So let's get started with the demo. In my demo setup, I have the Anka build cloud solution deployed on a single Mac. So we have the cloud controller, which is the management component of Anka build cloud. And then we also have the Anka Registry, which is also deployed on the same Mac machine. And my Anka Registry is using local Mac storage to store the VM images. So as you can see here, if I go to templates, I can see these are all the various VM images in my Anka registry. Some of these have different versions. So there's a base image and there are multiple versions on it. So we can kind of see those as we look at these specific VM images. Now let's get started by downloading and running the scanner tool. So you'll notice in our documentation we have specified what are the prerequisites before you get started with the scanner tool. So let's look at the command line help for this tool. As I mentioned earlier, the scanner tool is available as a Docker container that you can download from our public ECR registry. So this is the ECR registry where you will be downloading it from, and this is the scanner container. When you run the scanner container, it will mount the location of the registry storage. And this is because the scanner needs access to the registry storage in order to access the VM images and scan them. So you can see here, this is my path to my local registry storage. And in my command, when I'm running the container using Docker, I'm going to mount it. So let's look at all the command line options available. So as you can see, you can specify, there are many parameters here that you can specify as input to scan. You can specify a specific VM template and a UUID. If you don't specify a tag, then it will scan all the tags for this specific template UUID. If you specify a tag, then it will only scan that tag. You can also, without specifying a specific VM template, just have the scanner scan all the VM images in the registry as well. The scanner outputs the result of the scan either as a JSON, so you can pass it on to some other third-party reporting tools or process it any way you want. The default is it actually outputs the result in a tabular format. You can also write the scan results to a file and then analyze it later on. So let me show you an example of how you will use the scanner. So in this particular case, I am going to set an environment variable here, registry path, which will point to the location of my registry storage, so that when I have to specify this in the command line further on, instead of typing this entire path, I can just refer to the registry path. So this is the location on my machine where my Anka registry storage is located. Then the next step is I'm going to run the scanner. And I'm going to specify a particular VM image. So I want to see what are the different VM images in my registry. I can do Anka Registry list, which gives me all of the VM images right here. Let's select the first one. And I'm going to leave the tag empty so that it scans the entire VM image and start the scanning process. So now the scanner has started scanning this particular VM image. One thing to keep in mind, this is a beta version, and it's right now it's the beta is valid until end of January, so you can continue to use it until then. And we hope to be able to release a GA version of the Anka Image Scanner tool, before the end of January. So the scanner is right now scanning the data volume as well as the system volume of the macOS VM image. It will identify and catalog all of the packages, and then it will scan those packages for security vulnerabilities against the NVD database. Another point to note is that for sake of simplicity, we have included a copy of NVD database in the scanner container. So when you download the scanner container and run it, it comes with a copy of the NVD database. So this database might be a few weeks behind the current NVD database out there. However, when we release a GA version of the tool, the NVD database will not be included, and a latest version of the NVD databases will be downloaded at the time of installation and configuration of the scanner tool. So the overall scanning will take some time because it is going through all the file system assets. So let's wait for a bit for it to complete. Okay, so the scan is completed, and here I have the output of the scan in the default tabular format. It's kind of interesting. So there is a Python related vulnerability, critical vulnerability in the macOS app, and I guess NumPy. There are a couple of more critical security vulnerabilities. So let's take a look at this CVE number, which is the vulnerability identifier, and we can take a look at, I just Google it and it will show us the details about this vulnerability from the NVD database. This is the one. Looks like it's disputed, and there are some more details on it. You can take a look at this one right here, which is a NumPy, and see what we get. Seems like it's slow. Okay, so this also seems like it's kind of under disputed state, but here are the details about this specific vulnerabilities. So you can at the time of running the scanner, specify if you want the output to be available in a JSON format, if you plan to send it to a security vulnerability reporting system that you have in place. The current beta version doesn't include any reporting. We will collect user feedback around, what kind of reporting do you need, or if the users want to use third-party reporting tools, and then accordingly include features around that. So we are making this available for download to all of the Anka users. We'll be sharing details on our website through a blog, as well as in our Slack channel and also on Twitter. Go ahead, give it a try. Share your feedback with us through our Slack channel, or send us an email at info@virtu.com, and we look forward to getting your feedback. Thank you.